Hey, what is up guys? It's Sky, and let's get right into it. The Battlefield 1 Fall Update just dropped yesterday. And as is the case for all Battlefield patches, there was a ton of changes. I like the patch notes in the description. And me particularly, I'm mostly interested in the changes to the playing gameplay. So I jumped on a round of Conquest last night. And I didn't put up the greatest game, but through the magic of video editing, I'll show you the highlights from that game and conveniently edit out the derpy moments. And I'll start with the thing that we all wanted most from this patch, and it's that DICE reduced the damage of the AA turrets and reduced the range of the mobile AA. But after jumping on 1 or 2 games last night, I have to say that I don't really notice that much of a difference. I mean, the AA still damages you, and it still has comparable range. But like I said in the last video, the AA never really gave me that much trouble to begin with. So if you guys in the comments have any feedback on this, then it'd be much appreciated. All in all, I might be the odd man out, and my opinion might be a little bit unpopular on this, but I'm glad that DICE didn't really mess with the AA too much. All in all, I feel that the playing gameplay is fairly balanced. In BF3, it was way too easy. Even an intermediate pilot could put up those 100 kills, 5 or 10 death games. And it's actually easier to do in BF1. Granted that the other team isn't taking advantage of the AA turrets. I will admit that they were a little bit too strong before and a little too easy to use. But nothing on the level of active radar missiles. Yeah, I'm looking at you, BF4. Now that DICE reduced the damage of the anti-air cannons, maybe it would be nice to add some sort of skill-based component to it. In BF3, if you jumped in the AA turret, you'd have to lead tremendously. And it would be nice if DICE added something like that, or maybe a really effective overheat mechanic. Moving on to other plane-related changes in the latest patch, DICE actually buffed the rank in darts, making my favorite loadout, the trench fighter loadout, even better than it was before, which is kind of to my surprise. They increased the explosion damage and splash radius, making it just a little bit easier to clean up those infantry on strafe runs with your darts, just like you see in the video there. And if you'll notice, I was a little bit off, but I still got the kill anyway, and probably thanks in no small part to the buff. And in other news, they, and I quote, increased the bomber killer bullet velocity to improve this pattern's dogfighting. Now, I didn't get to try out the bomber killer loadout last night. It could either be talking about the cannons or the explosive rockets. Now, I really hope that this note is referring to the rockets, because I did give the bomber killer loadout a run a couple weeks back, and I thought that it had promise, but the explosive rockets just traveled too slowly and seemed to have some sort of random deviation. I think that they'd be a lot more useful if they were more like the rocket pods from BF3 and BF4. I'll have to give this loadout a try and see what they changed about it. And elsewhere in the patch notes, I noticed that they tried to address the plane lag. And I was dogfighting a fighter plane last night, and the plane lag is still there, but not to the extent that it used to be, but it's still an issue. And I've been able to compensate by predicting my enemy's flight patterns, but I really shouldn't have to. This is kind of a borderline broken aspect of Battlefield 1, and it's really something that we shouldn't have to tolerate. So hopefully DICE can get on the ball and fix this eventually. And lastly, it seems that DICE has addressed a lot of the crashing issues with DirectX 12. I'm happy to say that I can finally enable DirectX 12. And the game does look marginally better and crashes less, so that's always a plus. All in all, some very interesting changes, but definitely a lot of work cut out for DICE. Anyways guys, that does it for what I feel are the most significant changes in the latest patch to the playing gameplay in Battlefield 1. Enjoy a couple clips of some epic bomber takedowns. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you later.
We have taken objective apples. We have taken objective Duff. Objective Duff.
Conquistatelo!
Ho visto un soldato!
We have
Vedo
lost
uno dei loro
objective
soldati!
Apples.
Difendete questo obiettivo!
Ho individuato un soldato nemico!
Ecco l'obiettivo! Presto! Lo conquisteremo! Conquistatemi quell'obiettivo!
We are losing.